What is going on, you beautiful people? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. In this video, I want to walk you guys through the explanation of a question I had regarding one of the previous videos I did on Facebook Ads Masterclass to book literally hundreds of calls. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you going on the channel and watching it. I'll try to put it somewhere up here. Question that a lot of people have, and it will help quantify your success if you understand the thought process of me being strategical and why I did it the way I did. And it's not a set in stone, right? Everything works at the end of the day. But if you understand why we did what we did, you'll have a better understanding. Having said that, let me actually read the question. So this question comes from, and if you're watching this, my man, I sincerely apologize if I butcher this, but Facundo Miranda 3391. He said, quick question, why not use a VSL funnel to book calls? Is this strategy intended to test your targeting offer messaging before building the landing page of VSL? So I think he was a little confused. And if you are watching this, I think you were just a little confused because you didn't see us go all the way through as far as like where we redirect the lead form. But I want to give you some context because that was the VSL funnel. But what we will do with specific people is a lot of people will send people from the ad to a VSL. Great strategy. Like we do that with clients too. But a lot of people, especially if you're in the brick and mortar space, what we will actually do, and I'll give you the explanation afterwards so you have an understanding, is we will go straight from the ad and we will go straight to the calendar. No VSL. The VSL will be after. And you're probably thinking, why in the hell would you do that? And let me give you some context. So here's what y'all need to understand. Same with video ads, VSLs can extremely help you. If you're great on camera, you do good, they can really quantify your success, but they can also extremely hurt you. We as human beings are judging creatures. Whether we want to or not, our subconscious in split seconds are always making slight judgments. It just is. That's what our psyche does. And if you are presented a certain way, your setting is in a certain way, you stutter a certain way, you say one word that maybe isn't intended the way you intended it, people will bounce. And that's what you need to understand. Give people 1 ounce of reason to leave and they will. And so what I was doing when I'm running my agency is I was like, okay, well, let me do this. Let me get a baseline of what my self-booking rate is. No VSL. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is more so for you guys who are running a direct offer. So you're going straight for the 3% of the market. You're going and you're just giving them an offer. Let me get a baseline of what self-booking percentage is, okay? Because if I go straight from opt-in to calendar and my self-booking rate, let's say is 20% for easy numbers, and then I add a VSL and then it drops to 5, I can say, shit, my VSL tanked, right? Without having to be too technical and granular looking at data, keep it super simple. If I add the VSL prior and my booking rate goes from 20 to 40, I'm like, oh shit, this is crushing, right? And so that's why we do that. And usually what we'll do is in a new ad account, phase 1, direct offer, we're sending people from the opt-in to the calendar page to just get a baseline of what self-booking rate is. But here's what you all need to understand. This is not a one-size-fits-all solution. That's why everyone's situation is a little different, okay? This is niche specific. So in low sophisticated markets where it's not as, I don't want to say saturated because everything's quote unquote saturated, and that's technically good, means there's demand for what you have. But in a lower sophisticated market, say we're going after HVAC, we're going after, you could say real estate, right? Brick and mortar type companies where it's like there's so many new businesses coming in left and right, what there is, period, but especially for those. Yeah, like a lot of these guys are in pain and they're not as internet markety. And so they're coming for the offer and they'll book in. Show rate will be lower, right? But they'll book in. Whereas if we're going after coaches and agencies who are very aware and are understanding of the nuance of what people are doing, that will be lower. And so in your case, if you're going after a more sophisticated market, you might need to add the VSL. And at the end of the day, what is the VSL really there to do? It's to quantify bookings and to quantify someone's willingness to be educated on who you are, what you do, so that they're more willing to come into the sales call and more willing to pay you, not just by paying you, but paying you more upfront. That's what the purpose of the VSL is there to do. It's to educate someone to actually want to book in, show up to a call, and pay you more than what they would have had they had no clue who you are, right? It's just the caveat. If you're in a stage in your life cycle, and this is where I think so many people get consulting wrong. So many people are bad at it because they just give everyone the one size fits all solution, but most people don't take into consideration, like, what's your current situation? Where are you at in the world? What financial resources do you have available to you? What expertise or business acumen do you have? What industry are you going after? What's your team size? Like, there's so many nuances that go into effect that you need to think about when you're getting, from me giving people consulting advice that not a lot of people do. And so you need to understand that. We're just like, okay, cool. Take a step back, zoom out. Where am I currently at in my life cycle? Am I in a financial place where I just need to book a shitload of calls and start dialing in the sales process? Cool. Then maybe make it easier on yourself. Stop pushing a boulder up a hill, right? Or maybe you do have financial resources. You are more acumen. You have the ability to be patient in a sense of, hey, I have money stashed away and I can kind of be a little bit more risky, right? Cool. Then, play the game where you don't really need to go out and get a quote unquote baseline. But that question's a great question that I get asked all the time, which is like, hey, why would I not put a VSL here? Well, just because, again, if you're bad on camera and you're not good at copywriting, people are inherently looking for a reason to bounce. When I was running Google ads for SaaS clients, one of the statistics we would always tell them from when we were creating their landing pages, Google said this, in 3 seconds, 97% of people bounce. And that's like evergreen across the board for most things, ads, funnels, etc. So it's like, if you understand most people are just inherently looking for a reason to leave, not for a reason to stay, well then if you mess up just slightly, or you just look off slightly, and or maybe just inherently right when they join, they're like, nah, well, they're gonna bounce. And so we try to mitigate that right off the bat, especially if you're in a financial situation where it's like, let's just get calls on the calendar for you and then focus on the logistical aspect of doing what we can to educate them on the back end, right? And so they'll go lead form to calendar page to VSL, which we turned VSL into VSL pre-confirmation page. So they'll watch the VSL, then they'll go and watch, hey, here's the next steps for what you can expect to the call. So we'll kind of combine them, right? If you need more context, let me know. I'll create a video on it. But hopefully that answers your question. Great question. And again, depends on what niche you're going after. There's no one size fits all in any business, guys. Don't get freaking marketed to. Don't get sold to. I'm here to just keep it real with you. Your situation may be entirely different. All right. If you have any questions, again, go follow me on IG. I try to be as active as I can and give back as much as I can. That's my goal right now, is just to serve others. You can't tell from the banner on my channel. But hopefully you found value in this. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for viewing, watching, and hopefully liking and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.